Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator. Just a minute. Trying to turn a light on. Independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'm from Ohio. I'm here to bring you my What's Up Wednesday video. If you've never been here before, welcome to my video, I want to say. And for anyone that doesn't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Trying to work this as a business is not the easiest thing in the world, but that's what I have tried to do at my old age, but that's what I'm doing. And if you would like to join Stampin' Up!, it's a great opportunity for you to join. And I would love to be able to talk to you about that. And you can find information on my Facebook page or YouTube, whichever way you are watching this, so that you would be able to see it. And what else do I want to say? Don't forget that we have the product of the month right now, which is a very pretty fall paper. And it's $5 with a $75 order. Now, it stays available as long as they haven't sold out of it, that you can get the next month. But the thing of it is, for every product of the month you want, you have to spend $75. Has to be a different order, $75. So, anyway, and they have a new paper coming out next month. I've only seen a picture of it, and I didn't get it printed off, but it looks like it's going to be a really pretty paper also, which will be $5 with a $75 order. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to demonstrate the hot foil machine that we have, our system that we have in now. I know that probably you have seen that. There's been many demonstrators and people demonstrating it, but I think we all have different techniques and stuff we do with it or things that we can tell about it. And so I thought I would bring what I do, which is basically we all do the same to get the foiling effect with the machines, because it is a process and stuff. But I have a couple little things that I can maybe add into it, maybe that you haven't heard, and maybe you have, I don't know. But I thought I would really like to do that this time. So I got to leave my camera up high so you're going to be able to see the machine and stuff. I will bring it down low as I do other things. So I'll be raising my camera up and down. Just want to let you know that. And I hope it doesn't bother you to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to turn the camera down, and I'm going to start the foiling system so that it can heat up. So let's turn my camera around and down. And I am going to, because I can't see it when it's up, I am going to depend on my other monitor to do that for me. So anyway, boy, my desk looks messy. And I'm sorry about that. So anyway, what we're going to bring in, and I'll show you, I made this on the 3D printer to hold all my stuff, so I'm going to show it to you. It is, I forgot to get that little cord out. I'm glad I did that. So here it is. It holds the whole system. This is the main system here. This is for, it has the mats that we use to our shim and our plate for when we go through the embossing machine. And it has a mat for cooling the dies. So I'm going to set that right there. I'm hoping I don't really need my mouse. We're going to set it out of the way. And then here is the system in itself that I have. So we'll put that here in a minute. And I also have the operating instructions. I kept it, although I didn't read them the first time. So I hope nothing goes wrong that I have to read them. And then it holds 6 rolls of foil, and then it holds the little magnetic release thing. Then I'll show you what all that's about as I go. But I'm going to sit this to the back of me again But I do make those. If anybody's interested in them, let me know if you do have a hot foiling system, because I will be selling those. Okay, here's the system that we need right now, okay? And what we do, we have two plugs. We have a plug that plugs into electric with this on the end of it that you just hook together. And then this gets plugged into your machine. Now, hopefully you'll see the light. If you cannot see it, I am going to change it for you for a minute. I'm going to put that over to this other side so it's not trying to turn everything sideways on us. I think that would be better. So I'm going to plug this in, and then did you see the lights come on? Or did I have my arm in the way? I don't know. There the lights come on. So the light's red. This means right now that this is heating up, okay? It takes about 6 minutes, and the reason why I went ahead and waited, I wanted to show you how it heated up. But I also, in the meantime, we're going to show you a few cards that I've made with the system. I don't have many of the dies. I just have like 3. But since I've used it and that, and I really like it, I did order some Christmas ones and that. So you'll be seeing me doing this again. But here's one of the cards I made, which everybody makes a card with the leaves, it seems like. And I think it's really, really pretty. I like that. So, anyway, I want to show you that. And then this is also one of the foiling dies. And I can show you that. And I just stamped on the inside. That's a stamp that matches this die that goes with it. Then I did another leaf, the same leaf, but I did it on DSP. So you can take your DSP, and I did something with the subtle background. But you can just go ahead and foil onto DSP. And then I did the same. I did a one of the sentiments that has the foil system to it, die, and then it also has the die to cut it out. Okay, so we've got that. And then I did kind of a grungy thing. I used the brick here, and I used it with the gears to make kind of a masculine card. And then I did the gears in that on the inside. So you could actually, if you wanted to, turn this around for your front and have that as the inside. You could do it either way. So anyway, those are 3 cards that I have made with it. And what I did, this one is not put together yet and completely done. But for this, I cut the frame out, and then I cut the center of it out. I just went in like a 1/2 inch and cut it in to where this will mat. And then what it does is it gives me a piece, and I just measured it, and I cut a piece to go over it for my inside, so it carries that gold to the inside of the card. This one I have to finish. I haven't cut out my happy birthday yet. So here we have this still heating. So I'm going to show you the dies. I'm going to show you the dies I'm using tonight. Plus I'm going to show you the stamp set I'm using tonight and the dies. Here are your dies for the hot foil machine. This one has the hot foiling dies, and it also has in it, it comes with both sets in it together, and there is the dies to cut out. This one, the ones that's heavier and lighter gray filled in, that's your ones that go onto the foiling system. And then the other one is your regular die cut. The leaf has a stamp, which is really big. I'll show you how big it is. I'm not using it tonight, but that's how big that stamp is. So you can do a lot with that stamp. You could do scrapbook pages with it. You can, you know, stamp a full front of a card, or use part of it and not do a full card. And then here's the die that goes with it. that is your foiling die. So we have that, and then the die we're going to use tonight, the foiling system of this, we're going to use actually this stamp set. I'm going to use the bricks, and then I'm going to use the brick foiling die, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and get it out since the machine is heating up. We will be using that. So that's out and ready for us. And then for actually the card making part of it, I am going to be using the Radiant Sunflowers. I'm using this right here, and I die cut it. I've already done this. I die cut it with that, and I already colored it to save us some time since that's not really what we're showcasing today. And then I'm using Hello Friend as my sentiment that will go on my cards. So we have all of that we're using. So back to saying a couple things about the machine is you can make a mistake, and here this will show you. See this gold that's not supposed to be right here? If that happens, you can take a glue eraser. So I hope you can see that little mistake there. You can take your glue eraser go over it one more time. Try not to shake my table so bad. And see how that came off? And that's close to the words, but I can still take that off, just being careful. But I'm going to die cut it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It didn't matter at that edge, but if I was making a card with it, here's another one. And when you rub, you can get that off a little better. So if you do have foil that gets where you don't want it, take a glue eraser, and I'm sure you all have one, and that will erase the foil in the places that you got it that you do not want it, okay? So I did want to tell you about that. You want to make sure when you use your shims that the green one always goes first. The green one always goes first, and then your just clear plate. And if you get foil on here, it's okay. You can take and scratch it off with your fingernail in places if you need to, or you can leave it there. It won't hurt anything. So, okay, we just heard this beep, and now this light is flashing, the little white light. So what that means, it's time for me to turn it on. The system is heated. Now I can turn this on for it to now start to heat my die up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that on. And now you see my yellow light is flashing. I hope you can see that. The yellow light is flashing. So I want to take my die and I'm just going to lay it on here, and we're going to let that heat up. While that's heating up, I got to cut my piece of foil that I'm going to use. And so I want to cut it about the size of that. Now, the best way to cut it is using the paper trimmer. Because what you can do is you can lay that to your side. Well, that's the one that's not open. I keep grabbing the wrong one. This one is open. I just got to find the end of it. I blow on it, and that way I get it out better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and I'm going to cut this to about what I think I need. And I think I do 2.5 on that, something like that. And then what I'll do is move that out of the way, put this down, and have that lay flat, and then I just cut. And there we go. It cuts it really fine and stuff. So now my machine's ready. The green light just came on. right here that tells me that my die is heated enough to go ahead and do my foil. So let me find my piece that I'm going to foil. Yeah, let me find it. It's right here, and I should have already stamped it. So let's do that just really quick before we put that on there. It's not going to hurt to leave that for a minute. So I got out a piece of scrap paper, but I don't know what I did with it. I got it out. So we'll just pull something else out to use. It's okay. We don't have to be specific here. I'm going to fold it though so it's not so big, since my paper is little. Okay, we're going to put this on here real quick. And I am going to, I forgot my stamp pad even. How crazy am I? Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. I'm going to take my stamp pad and I'm going to stamp some of the brick. Okay, so let's ink that up, and I'm just going to do some stamping of some brick on here, and I'm just using the Peaceful Pine ink. So we just got some bricks stamped on there. Didn't have to do a lot or anything. So now that my die is heated up, I've got this stamped and ready to go. You're going to take your foil piece and you're going to lay it down upside down. You want the colored piece of your foil down against your die. Okay, so you're going to lay that down, and you're going to see the heat's going to kind of just take that. You're going to put this over top, and then you are going to put your shim and your plate. We're going to bring in the embossing machine. We're going to set it just like this. Need to move this over here so I can get this on here. I'm going to unplug this at this point. I don't need that heating anymore. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in my die machine, okay? And I'm going to run this through. Now, when you run this through, you're going to run really slow. And the reason you're running slow is because the heat from your embossing die is, the raised parts is going to adhere with the foil. And it has to have the heat to do that. So if you run it too fast, you are not going to get the heat on there, and it will not, the foil will not stick to it. You'd never want to run this machine backwards through here. You want to just go forward with it. Okay, it's done. So what I want to do is turn this at an angle so I can pick it up. And it's not really hot now. The bottom's kind of hot, but it's not hot where it's going to just burn your fingers off or something like that. So let me get that out of the way. I'm going to bring in my pad here for my die. So let's take and lift all this up. And you'll see that that is on the shim. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to lift it off. And there it has made a die. It's made the foiling. Now we want to keep this because you can use they've actually made a pad like that you can use and use this and have a reverse effect. And I will be showing that because I've kept every piece that I've made, I've kept. So I will be showing that at some point in time. So I told you about this little magnetic piece, and it picks up your die because your die is very hot. You bring it over, you release this with this button, and it goes down on this, and it cools off, okay? So therefore, you're not going to burn yourself or anything. Everything's going to be good. Okay, so I'm going to take this, though, because we don't have enough room to work here for everything on my table. We have to keep moving stuff. So I'm going to move my die over. I'm not going to use that. I'm actually done with this. I can move this because my pad does not get hot. So I can move this over out of the way also. And I'll move these out of the way for a minute. These, since they're not hot, I can actually put them back where they go. Okay, I got a little bit of the gold right here that I can see. I don't know if you can see it in there. It is really pretty faint, but I am going to take my glue eraser and I'm going to erase that. Okay, so now all we have to do is put our card together. So what I've got is I got a crisp cantaloupe card base, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have Peaceful Pine that is going to go right here on my card. Okay, so let's go ahead and just glue that together. I left the cap off of this all day. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it's going to work for me. So, anyway, I'm going to take this, and do I want it? Yeah, I want it like this. I'm going to take this, and I'm not going to put it all the way to the edge. I want some of the crisp cantaloupe to show over on that side also. So I'm going to put this down. Okay. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to put this on my card, but I'm going to pop it up. So let's pop it with some dimensionals. And then we'll get it on our card. I did color these with Stampin' Blends, and I used basic beige paper to do it. And and I put plenty of I started calling Pop Dots dimensionals. I used to call them Pop Dots all the time. But I put plenty of dimensionals on it so that I can put it on my card. And I think I'm actually going to put it over this way a little bit, like that. And then we are going to take, I got a piece of scrap right here, and I'm going to take this Hello Friend with my Peaceful Pine ink. Do I use Peaceful Pine? I guess I do. I don't know. I was going to use Early Espresso, but I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to stamp this, and then I'm going to cut it. I didn't want to cut it first. I'm just using a piece of scrap. So it says Hello Friend. So let me cut this one edge down. It's too big, so I'll just cut that down real quick. And I think I want it there. I'm going to cut a little bit off of this one edge. This is when you couldn't decide what you were going to do with your card. This is what you do. I'm going to get out my scissors, and I'm going to cut some people call it flags. I don't know. There we go. we have it cut. So now I want to see how I want to place it on there. I think I'm going to place it just like that. And then I'm going to put some, and I think since that's raised, I'm not going to raise this. I'm just going to put glue here in the center. Like so, so that it adheres to the green and not give it a good press so it kind of push that up a little bit. It was not quite even. Now I have this for the inside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a couple of the bricks up the side of it, I think. I'm not going to emboss it. I'm just going to stamp some bricks. And they do dry lighter, so actually though, I think I might just stamp off with them and have them really light. So I'm going to put this one right here. Stamp off. Stamp on. Sometimes when you stamp over wet ink, it doesn't take off what you want it to, so I try to. So there we go. We just have some bricks on the side of our inside piece, so we can write a message. And look, I did them upside down, didn't I? That was dumb. Tell me that was dumb. I'm so used to making landscape cards, because that's what I usually make, that I did that wrong. Oh well. So much for that, right? So now we're starting over. I'm going on that ink after I said probably shouldn't do that. Go up here real quick. And you have to ink every time because you get that where this is off, so it might not stamp right. And there we go. Now we have it right. Nobody's going to know it's wrong but us and anybody else that watches this video. But that's okay, because I don't care. I make mistakes all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I do. So now I'm going to glue that in there, and my bricks kind of match these bricks, so they're all good. Let's put some ink on here. That way my inside, my bad side's already down, so nobody sees it. That's why you don't glue your inside down until you stamp it. So if you do it wrong, you got another side of paper you can use. So now we have this, and we are going to add, we're going to add them as soon as I can get them out. I don't want the blue, so I think I'm actually going to bring out the green on here. What I got on there. So we'll bring out the green, I think is what we'll do. So I'm going to use a couple big ones. And I think I'll put them right here. I'm going to put two right there. I always don't want to come off with this. I call them the humpy embellishments. They like to stick better. So I'm going to put two right there. And then I'm going to put 5 on here today. Sure I am, right? Okay, we're moving to the other end. We are moving to the other end. I'm going to put one up here. I'm going to take two small ones. I'm going to put them right here. So there is our finished card with our foil. So I think I should really said some of the basics about the foiling machine. And you do have to, like, when you started out, and you have to wait for each session, like when the red light's on, when you first plug it in, it takes a good 6 minutes for that to really heat up. It will beep, then you hit the white button, and it will, then the yellow light starts flashing. That means put your die on the heating element and wait till the green light beeps, and then that means it's ready for the foil. Does it mean you have to stick it on that second? No. Does it mean you wait an hour? I don't think so, but you know, you have a few minutes like I did, and I went ahead and stamped my paper. So I already had this colored, which made it easier for tonight, and or tonight. I'm doing this at night, so for Saturday, or yeah, no, Wednesday, whatever day I'm doing this video, Wednesday, tomorrow, because I'm on Tuesday right now. I tell you what, some days I wonder about myself. But anyway, there's my card done. I hope you like the presentation of this. If you're on the fence about getting it, I totally understand if you don't want to invest in it. It is an investment. It's not the cheapest thing in the world to do, because you have to get the dies for the hot foil machine because they are so much heavier. And I'm going to pull out my, because this is already cooled off, but these are so much thicker. And I mean, you cannot bend this or anything, and it holds the heat. It will, the other thin ones that we have will not take the heat. They will probably warp really bad and just not work to do anything with. So you have to use the heavier dies. So unfortunately, you have to get the ones for the hot foil system. And that's the only thing, because then you're going to be spending more money to get these kind of dies also. But they are different, you know, except for like the sayings. I mean, because we do have sayings that you can cut out like this. But you have to get the ones for the foil to do the foiling part. And the dies do match that exactly. That's in there. So that's my spill on the hot foiling machine. I'm hoping to learn more and more, so you will be seeing me do more stuff with it. I will be doing the reverse with different things. I'll be showing how to do that as soon as my pad comes in. It's been ordered. So as soon as it gets here, well, I'll probably be on vacation. I hope, no, it should be in before I leave on vacation. So if it does, I'll make a video real quick so that you can see it, because I will be going on vacation September 11th till the 20th. I'm hoping to come on with a video. I will pre-record what I can before I leave. And that's so that there'll still be videos, because I like making cards. That's just me. So anyway, here's my little collection of some of the foil cards. And as you can see, they're all kind of different. You can do this on DSP. You can use it on two-tone cardstock, and I forget to do that. I've been doing all mine on regular milled cardstock, which is what our regular cardstock is. But it's worked out fine for me. They say sometimes it won't adhere as good, but I think that is in how slow you roll that machine through. So you have to really remember to run slow, okay? And I know with our regular dies, we don't have to. We just get them in there and crank them and get them out. But it's not the case with the foiling dies. You have to go slow. And I know because I did one really fast and nothing stuck to it. It was crazy. So anyway, there we go. You guys have a great rest of your week. be creative when you can. And I hope to, well, I'll have a video out on Saturday. So you'll be able to do it on Saturday. And of course, my lives are on Tuesdays. So all my videos go on at 10 o'clock, whatever day I'm doing them on, Wednesdays, Saturdays, or Tuesdays. We're always at 10 o'clock in the morning because that's easier for everybody to remember instead of me doing all different times. Because if you can't come at that time, you can always watch replay, okay? So I'll go clean my messy desk off since I've made a mess again. I keep cleaning it off, keeps getting messy, but that's okay. And I will talk to everyone later. And you guys be blessed, be creative, and I will see you soon. I'm bringing my camera down so I can turn it off.